Windows controls are a little bit confusing, however they are very effective and a very interesting concept that you should understand. So what is a window control in the first place? Well, let's open Calculator by going Start Programs, Accessories, and then clicking on Calculator. You'll notice that the calculator has a lot of different buttons, backspace, C for clear, 7, 8, 9, 4, 5, 6. Anyway, all these different buttons, those are all Windows controls. Controls are a great way of controlling application stability and macro stability when you're running macro scripts. Controls allow you to press specific buttons, say on calculator, 7 is its own control, 8 is its own control, 9 is its own control. And you can press these buttons and make the macro wait for those specific buttons to appear. Now, it depends on the application and how many controls will be in that application when the person wrote the application to begin with. Calculator has a lot of them. Almost all these buttons are controls, whereas Internet Explorer doesn't have as many controls. The address bar, for example, would have, this would be a control, the go button would be a control, and this white area would just be one control, this huge area. So controls don't really work on web pages, but more for applications on your computer system. And this should make more sense once we start developing the script. For now, let's go back into Macro Express, right-click anywhere on this white area, and click New Macro. Next, go to No Activation and click Scripting Editor. Now, Window Controls does have its own command category. It's towards the bottom and it says Window Controls. Let's go ahead and expand the list here. The commands I'm going to focus in this video is Get Control and If Control. So first, we need to find out what control we want to use. And we do this by using the Get Control. Let's go ahead and double click. So we have a few options here. First, hide macro express means that while we get the control, it will actually hide macro express the application, which I recommend clicking on. Next, we need to say launch get control control utility. Now my calculator is not on top. What I need to do is click in my taskbar and bring my calculator into view. Now we can use this bullseye to locate the window control that we would like to use. So let's say we want to use the button 6. You'll notice that it says the class name is button. The window text is 6. Now, most of the time it's effective to get the control using the text. And this means that instead of just guessing that it's going to be a button, it'll actually use this window text named 6 to locate the button. However, there are a few instances in some applications where they might have multiple buttons all named the same thing because the developer, when they created the software, did not name those different when they were specifying the window text. So if we click the Display Details button, we can see that it's located, this control is located in calc.exe. It says calculator scicalc, which is the technical name for calc.exe, or the descriptive name, and the button, which is index 15. Once you do that, click the Save button, and it should bring up Macro Express again. Now, if the title of the program that you're using changes quite frequently, say Internet Explorer might never have the same name, what you would do is this top-level window caption you would change. So if you just want to look for something, say Microsoft Internet Explorer, you would type in Internet Explorer here and leave the rest of the description or title out. The other thing that we can do is if we do specify just a section of that title, we need to click on partial title. If it is the exact match of the title, calculator is calculator, always will be for Windows XP, then we just press OK. So now we've captured our control. Next we need to use an if control statement, which we're going to discuss about in this video. Let's go ahead and double click on the if control. In this video we're going to use the if control is visible function. Let's go ahead and press OK. So it says if control C1 is visible, do whatever we specify next, which we're going to use the mouse click on control. So how many times do we want to click on that control, single or double? we're going to have it single click, and which button do we want to use for clicking on that control, left, middle, or right. We're going to leave that on left. We also have the advanced tab, which is center on control, or center of control, which is whenever you're specifying the general, it will always click wherever the center location is in that control. Whereas if we specify other, we can actually have an X and Y coordinate so we can specify where our mouse clicks in that control. Let's go ahead and press OK. Alright, so now it says if control %C1 is visible, mouse single left click on control C1. Then we also have to have an end if statement to end this if statement. So we'll double click on end if. So let's go into the calculator and just make sure that this is cleared out by pressing the C button. When we minimize that back down, let's go ahead and run the script. If you press play here and you look back at our calculator, you now notice that we have a 6. And the nice thing about get controls, rather than just using the mouse statement, if you possibly can, is because the window doesn't necessarily have to be active in order for you to click on a control, which is very useful because you can run these get controls in the background of that computer. So if we press this again, you should notice now it has 6.6. And you can specify any number or doing a backspace, whatever you want in your macro script. And this is how the get control and if control statements work. Thanks for watching.